Round 5 brought a fair bit of carnage, but it was still a solid week. Scored 2,236, moved up a bit again, sitting just outside the top 6,000. After the way things went last year, I really can't complain with how this season started so far, despite the mistakes that I made with my starting side. I think we've done pretty well to patch things up. So let's move to the team. Defense doesn't look good, but the one shining light was Tom Stewart's 152. 30 touches for the first time in his career, 11 marks. Did not see this coming at all, but unbelievable from Stewart. We would like a little more out of Lloyd. We have high expectations, considering we see him as the best seagull in the business. But he tunned, it's fine. We'll move on. Short had a down game. Chapman just a 54, but he did make us some good cash. Kazitsky came back into the side and was a pleasant surprise, really. Didn't have any expectations, and he comes out with a 62, so that's good. Clark on the bench was the medical sub, didn't play. He's done his best to adapt to whatever role he's been given, and he gets dropped, so that's not ideal at all. And of course, the man of the moment, Jordan Ridley. I was raving on and on about him last week. Gotta bring him in. Averaging 130. I'm missing out here. Just gotta bring him in, not worry about it. And of course, he gets concussed in the first quarter, ends on a 31, and he's gonna miss next week because the 12-day concussion protocol. So this is very sad. Last year I did a pretty good job trading in players that would get injured their first game in my team, and it just had to happen again this year. But obviously I'm going to hold. I really can't afford to trade too many more premiums. I've already traded Danger, Cripps, Neil, Daniel. This will just be a week anyway, at least I hope so. Hopefully Highmore can come back to the side this week. St Kilda have been absolutely smashed 2 of the last 3 weeks. Highmore wasn't even that bad, so hopefully we can see him get some games sooner rather than later. The midfield was led by Jack McRae. Another unbelievable game. Took that 146 as my captain score. Oliver was good again. Petrarca fought through the Warple tag, kicked a couple goals. Laird did well to battle through a shoulder injury. Gould's fallen back down to earth a little bit. Powell, great again. Jordan bounced back big time. Berry, poor. And Scott, much better. Brockman was managed, but hopefully comes back next week. Our set and forget rucks, showing why they're set and forget. Really didn't expect this from Grundy against Nadanui, but 134. Great stuff, and Max Gorn. 26 touches, 10 marks, a goal. He is absolutely insane. And the forward line, Dunkley, just like McRae and pretty much every other Dogs mid, he was outstanding. Dusty left a fair few points on the table with his low disposal efficiency. Zeeble was insane, really. 38 touches, 33 of them kicks. He has become the ultimate seagull, averaging 119 up to this point. Not what we expected at all, but he's been so good. Impey 84, that's fine. Warner back down to earth a little bit this week. Rowe was good, kicked a couple. Jones and Waterman on the bench, not great, but wet weather footy didn't help them at all. So that's the team. Hopefully Flynn comes back this week. Leon Cameron did say he can't be playing Mumford 3 or 4 straight weeks. So hopefully this is the week that Flynn comes back. For most people, this will be the start of upgrade season, but I used most of that upgrade money going Daniel to Ridley, so I'm going to have to delay things by a week, sadly. This week I'll just be bringing in Lockie Jones. For who, I don't know. It'll probably be either Clark or Berry. I guess I'm holding on to that small bit of hope that Clark gets named to the side again and not as medical sub. Berry's break-even's up to a 43 now, so that's not ideal. Just doesn't have a high ceiling at all. We'll figure out Friday night whether Clark gets named or not. But if he does, I'll reverse this and go Berry to Jones instead of Clark. But for now, I'll settle with Clark to Jones. Leaves me with 249k in the bank. And then obviously next week I plan to make an upgrade. So we'll put Ridley on the bench, obviously. He won't be playing. Maybe we might be able to loop if Highmore gets named, but we won't find that out until Saturday night because of the team announcements being a day before. Still very annoyed at that, but what can you do? Captains, we have Sharp as loop, who plays Saturday Twilight. I'd like to go Gorn and Grundy, but actually Ridley won't play, so he can be loop captain. So I guess we'll just keep emergency on him in the event that we need to use him as our loophole captain. And we'll go Gorn Vice against Richmond and Grundy captain against Essendon, who have Peter Wright playing as main ruck at the moment. Also, I forgot to mention earlier, I traded out Campbell instead of Brockman, so that ended up working out. Brockman didn't play, but Campbell only got 39, went down in price. And I also got an extra 37 points out of it because if I kept Campbell, Jordan would have been on the bench. So everything worked out there. I've got a few targets in mind for my first upgrade, which will be before round 7. It will be a mid. I only have 3 premium mids in McRae, Oliver and Petrarca. I'll keep a close eye on Lockie Neal. Just got the 157, break even down to a 98. It's been well documented that he's not playing at 100%, but I'm interested to see how he goes and see if he can back up his big performance against Essendon with another one. Steele is another target, but he's priced so high. He's been super consistent though, so I'm not fussed paying top dollar for him. Hopefully he can go down a little bit before trading him in. His break even is at a 129. Tom Mitchell is another target, but after that 76 he might drop again for another couple of weeks. Brayshaw will be dirt cheap next week, so can't go wrong bringing him in either. So there's some really good targets that I could possibly upgrade to. My aim would be to make it happen without having to trade reliable field options like Goulden and Warner, but we'll see what happens. We'll throw out a few names before ending off the video. Ridley is a hold. He'll be back for round 7. Jeremy Howe, if you have him, that's an obvious trade. Assuming you have the cash, that's a pretty easy swap to Jack Burrows, or even Brayshaw if you have DPP. Houston, wait and see on the scans. Didn't watch the game, but seeing updates on him, it didn't sound good, so I'd assume that's a trade as well. If you've still got Braden Campbell, it's time for him to go. Just not scoring well enough. Break even's not going to get any lower, so he's got to go. But that's going to do it. Hopefully you all escaped most, if not all of the carnage. Let us know how you went in the comments if you want. Good luck to you all for round 6, and I will see you guys in the next video.